What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel. My predictions for Backlash 2025. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Backlash could be, I would describe, a little lackluster, because Backlash so far, I could try to compare it from last year, and wasn't entirely bad last year. It was a little underwhelming at first, but it was still a good card in my opinion. I think that this card could be good, but I don't think stuff is going to happen to make it good. I think you're going to understand what I'm going to say here soon when I say my predictions. But yes, we're going to go through each match. We're going to go from least likely to most likely on each match, how I think maybe subjectively you could move which match, whatever. But we're going to go through it, and I'm going to describe to you why I think each one is a certain way. So let's get started with, and this should be the most likely. If not, we are going to have to probably crash out. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Gunther is a Ultra Demon Ring General. Gunther should win this match against Pat McAfee. Here's the thing. There's a lot of factors that could happen in this match, so that could change the result or change what I'm going to predict. Gunther obviously losing to Jey Uso sucks. Obviously, they have some probably feuds coming up for him, and that is why ultimately he is doing this match, and that's why he's getting off the World Heavyweight Championship, which in my opinion, I think makes a lot of sense for Gunther. I think they're obviously wanting to put Gunther back in the championship picture, but I think they're going to let some talent win it before him, so then ultimately we can get some good matches in my opinion. I think Gunther might stay away a little bit. He might try and go for it, but not win right away, and then ultimately win it. So for Pat McAfee versus Gunther, crazy this is a match. This is something that I could never predict in my life was going to be a match. Gunther needs to win. Gunther should squash him, honestly. If it's a legitimate match for a while, this kills Gunther, in my opinion. Not actually kills him, just kind of credibility is a little lackluster there. But what I think could be very interesting, which if Pat McAfee pins Gunther, I'm going to crash out. It should be Gunther winning, but honestly, it could either be a DQ, it could be either Gunther could DQ himself for choking out Pat McAfee and not letting go. I think ultimately it's a Goldberg reunion. Goldberg is coming back to WWE to go against Gunther for probably a retirement match. I thought it would be Braun Breaker. I was hoping it would be Braun Breaker. It's probably going to be Gunther. And gotta be honest with you, truthfully, a little interesting. I don't really like Goldberg as much as probably some others. I think him stopping bullies could be a interesting storyline like he used to do. This is probably what's going to happen. There's not much else to talk about on this one. Up next is John Cena, champion, versus Randy Orton one last time, which I'm very shocked that they're saying one last time. I think this should be rerun with a chance of Randy Orton winning. But if Randy Orton's not going to go against John Cena again, then chances are I would put Randy Orton more closer to the end of his run, so we could say for sure Randy could go against him. Anyways, Randy Orton, John Cena, amazing match we want to see, but let's be honest here, it is John Cena no matter what. There's no way John Cena loses this, and here's why. Cody Rhodes isn't here. Cody Rhodes is not going against John Cena, and ultimately it just started. We're going to want to see John Cena go against it. The only thing I will have to say is that the goal wasn't how long he can hold the title. The goal was John Cena's going to be a 17-time champion. We'll see how long it goes, because he got already the number 17, so it's already fine if he would lose it right now, because he's already at number 17. So that's why I don't have this number 1, and I have Gunther number 1, but Gunther should still win no matter what. But I'm a little bit sad that I guess Randy Orton is going against him this early, that it feels like kind of a nothing match. And I feel like the high of WrestleMania always feels like, if you go to new things, always feels like it's a kind of ordeal. But yeah, I really do believe that John Cena will win, probably with underhand tactics, being the now heel John Cena, but Randy Orton will likely lose in a interesting way to protect Randy Orton. Up next is Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. So the only reason why I kind of put this lower than John Cena and everything, which should I mean, John Cena and Gunther should be for sure. This is like a 80% for sure. Dominic Mysterio should win. But here is the thing, and I keep going back to this. Usually WWE once changes, once switches up. I'm trying to think, did they do this in Backlash at all? I don't think they actually. I'm trying to think of the card. They changed the women's tag team. They had the Kevin Owens tag. They had Damian, AJ Styles, and then there was a fifth match on there that is very forgetful at the moment right now. That is not good that I'm forgetting that fifth match that was on Backlash. I feel like it wasn't a U.S. title at the time. It wasn't Sami Zayn IC run. What could it have been? Tag team? No. Oh my gosh, this is going to get me so mad if I can't remember the card right now. Was it only 4 matches? No. Jay, AJ, tag team. Oh, was it Bailey? I think it was Bailey, Tiff, and Naomi. That was it, right? I think that was it. I'm going to probably double check after this video. I don't want to check right now. What a yap session right there. Dominic Mysterio, though. I think there is a chance he loses this title. But if I'm WWE, there's no way I let Dominic Mysterio lose his title right now. You got to boost the young talent. You got to keep growing the young talent. He is so over with the fans for being such a heel. You got to keep it on Dominic Mysterio. Now, the whole thing is what's going to happen with Finn? Why is he talking to Roxanne Perez? What's going to go on with that? If Finn somehow costs Dominic Mysterio, I could really see Penta winning. I could really see, if you want me to be completely honest with you, the whole goal in probably entering WrestleMania was to give it to Penta, but they wanted that WrestleMania moment giving it to Dominic Mysterio, so maybe they do give it to Penta here, and Finn costs Dominic Mysterio, making a whole storyline for this summer, and at least Dominic has it under his belt. I don't think that should happen. I think it would kind of hurt Dominic Mysterio. I think Dominic Mysterio is an amazing, amazing wrestler and a future great. Maybe the plan is to give him money in the bank and so he loses it early. That could be an interesting type of ordeal. But I ultimately am going to put Dominic Mysterio, but there's a little bit of a question mark there. I just have to believe that Penta and the Lucha Bros will happen here soon, and that's why this isn't a insane. And they also just ran this back. Like, that JD won, and then went against JD, and now we run it again. So we'll have to see. Up next, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. So when I was talking about that card, the last year's card, we had a retain, a regular match, and a change. This year, it's probably going to be, and I'm not going to say the actual one, it's probably going to be retain, change, and then I'll let the other one be whatever. So, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Now, a part of me... Oh, wow, I just kind of actually just spoiled it. I said Becky Lynch. I just realized I said change. This is why. A part of me thinks that they could keep Lyra having this, giving her the win under Becky. Then ultimately, Becky comes back and wins it from her. I think they could also do something where Becky loses, gives her the title. Lyra disappears for a little bit because Becky beat her ruthless. Lyra comes back around maybe Money in the Bank. And they have Lyra, Becky, and Bayley triple threat SummerSlam. And then maybe Lyra wins there, pinning Becky Lynch. I gotta be honest with you, man. I really do. The whole Bayley situation is very interesting to me. I think it would have been better, which I don't know why they did it, to say Bayley got screwed out by Roxanne Perez. You boost Roxanne Perez, she took out Bayley, and then you have the interesting story of Bayley there for Roxanne Perez rather than Becky Lynch just saying, I did it. I'd rather that not have happened because ultimately, whatever. But Becky Lynch is going to be Becky Lynch and be a crazy good heel, and I think she's still great. I think she needs this championship. It's a new championship. You boost the women's division mid-card. It just makes a lot of sense to have this happen, and I hope it does happen, but I could see them delaying it. And what's the next PLE after this? Saturday night's main event. Maybe Becky wins there because in a triple threat. I just ultimately believe that this has to be Becky to win. because I think for the championship, it needs Becky Lynch, and because we're seeing the championship for the first time on a PLE because it's a Becky Lynch match. That's just the way it is and the truth thing about it. And I think that you could build Lyra Valkyria as a big babyface and win this back here soon. Up next, and this is the last one, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest. So now you might be saying, Chadwell, I'm going to be honest with you. You're a madman. You're insane, and you are crazy for thinking that this is not predictable. I don't think it is. I really don't. I'll give you a couple reasons, but I'm also going to make a separate video just about this match. Now, you might understand why after I explain it. So Jacob Fatu comes in as champion. We know Jacob Fatu is going to wreak havoc for WWE this whole year, next year, the future. I would have to imagine that by next year, he's probably looking at main titles, like he's going for the heavyweight championship, the WWE title. I would not be shocked at all. The US title card, which this should have been a WrestleMania match, which granted it wasn't, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of fine with it because we're still getting the match. This is an insane kind of division right now. Drew McIntyre is main event worthy. Damian Priest showed last year he's pretty main event worthy. LA Knight has been so strong in this feud, and everyone knows that he should win Money in the Bank and be the next cashing in and be part of the main event scene as well. This is an amazing match, and this is honestly the match I'm the most excited for. Maybe it's because I'm a Jacob Fatu stan, but I still love each and every person in this match. So Jacob Fatu should have this title for a while. Everyone thinks Jacob Fatu will have his title and ultimately drop to Solo Sikoa. I think that Solo Sikoa will be the X factor in here. Will he try to mess up Jacob Fatu? Will he try to, and Jacob Fatu is still good? Will he mess up Jacob Fatu, pull him before pinning someone, and someone slips in and gets the pin for the shock? Could 100% see that. Now, there's one factor that I'm going to make a video on, so I might not go fully in depth and fully talk about it. But I kind of want to make this it a small video and just be like I told you so in case it happens. And I ultimately think it's probably just me being kind of stupid and kind of latching on something that's not really anything. But I still want to make a video and kind of be like, I saw this, I called it, give me my flowers now. Jacob Fatu is the only person out of all of WWE right now that has not gotten a championship render. You go to WWE.com, which I wonder if I'm going to actually do it for this video just so I show you. Okay, so I'm choosing a different place where I record, and not a different place, a different area, so I am blocking a little bit of the championship renders. But listen to me, okay? John Cena just won. I'm looking at my monitor also when I'm seeing this so I can see if you can see my mouse. John Cena just won, okay? John Cena has a championship render. Jey Uso just won, championship render. Io Sky won a little while ago, got the championship render. Tiffany Stratton's right here. Dominic Mysterio, championship render. Sol Ruka, 2 championship renders. She literally got one and then got another one because she didn't like it. The New Day, championship renders already. Zelina Vega won a Friday ago, already championship render. These have had renders for a while. Noam Dar, they never give a championship render to the Heritage Cup winners. I wonder, do they have Speed Championship? That's about to change here soon. Who does not have a championship render? And I mean, like, literally look, like a championship is on them. Jacob Fatu. Now, this is the thing. When a champion usually wins, it is usually a day, 2, at most I've seen 3, and I've kept up with this for years because this is where you get the images for seeing the people. They update the renders. Why have they not for Jacob Fatu? And so now here comes my theory. Are they not changing the render because they know he's about to lose? So why even put in the effort, which would be kind of crazy, but I think it's whatever. Not putting in the effort, and they ultimately am going to make him, like, why is it still not a championship render? It makes no sense. Why are they doing it? Is he just about to lose this? And I think it's a possibility. I mean, let's just go back. Ultimately, you have to think that, like, look at that's clearly an edit of the US title on him. There's so many factors. There's a fatal 4-way, so Sikoa can intervene without getting in trouble for it. Makes so much sense to do it. So much sense to do it. And for that reason, which I gotta kind of click here, for that reason, I wanted to choose Drew McIntyre. I'm still probably gonna choose, though, Jacob Fatu. Now, listen, I know I just went on this rant. I am literally thinking Jacob Fatu's the underdog now because of this. Isn't that crazy? I think they need to keep it on Jacob Fatu for a long, long time. I think that's what's best. I think if anything, he loses, wins it again, loses, wins it again, get that under his belt. Shouldn't be pinned, which is exactly why this is the perfect place you could do a Jacob Fatu losing, so he's still not pinned. I think they're going to give it to Drew McIntyre. I really do. This is me just being smart. My gut 100% says Drew McIntyre is about to win this U.S. title. Drew McIntyre is going to have an excellent run with the U.S. title. And you know what's an interesting thing, which I've seen a lot of people talk about? SmackDown is going to be at an interesting point where ultimately John Cena is going to be there and he's not going to show up really. So you kind of need this U.S. title to be stacked. This is basically like Drew McIntyre being the main event for SmackDown for a long time if you would win this. You could have that with Jacob Fatu, but even just Drew McIntyre, I mean, come on. Telling you, I think it's going to be Drew, and he's going to be a Grand Slam champ when he wins it because it makes so much sense to give it to him. Just an opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm 50-50 on Drew McIntyre, so let me know what you think. I haven't seen anyone also say that render, I swear on my life, so if I call it, I need my flowers. I'm not even joking. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.